I was in the building in Oakland. I really thought the top was going to come off of the building. I've never seen that before.
All I can remember is that he did something, and it's the quintessential act. You turn to someone who's sitting next to you and say, did he really do that?
I was right there, and I damn near broke my eye socket after Vince did. I don't know what he did.
Nobody expected him to do what he was doing in the dunk contest. I know I didn't, and I'm in the 9th grade, and I'm watching this. Me and my friends are going crazy.
And Vince Carter comes down, puts the ball in between his legs and jumps up. And I'd be damned if it didn't look like he was dunking his head more than the ball in the rim. And I just went, give it this one.
You know, the slam dunk contest had gone away for a couple of years, discontinued one season. It did not take place in the lockout year. There was a lot of anticipation for the year 2000 because the field was as good as we'd seen it for some time.
Does not have to do anything extraordinary, but he does!
What I remember most is how I got drug into it. Being on the same team as my cousin, and I didn't want to do it. I just felt like I wasn't a creative dunker like that.
He said no, probably till the week before we were leaving. You know, I had to beg him.
Like, why would I want to get into it knowing that you're gonna win? And I see, you know, his dunks every day and how creative he is.
Once we got there, you know, all the hype and all that, I was like, just do it. He's like, all right, fine. You go out there and put on a great show.
This is what everybody's been waiting for. It's the climax of the night, and we're gonna see what Vince Carter can really do.
I was nervous because I was so excited. I was at a level where I felt like I could jump into the backboard. That's how hype I was.
All right, here is Vince Carter with his first shot.
Let's go home! Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen!
As a sideline reporter, you have to be objective. Are you kidding me? I mean, the first dunk that he made was a casual 360 windmill reverse, and I dropped the mic. I just dropped the mic.
One dunk where he's going, he spins left, to come back right, the 360, and he's talking to himself the whole time. Man, he's just awesome.
And I'm just telling myself to get right, and that was the highest I've ever done on just a reverse 360 or a windmill in my life, and I put them both together, and you know, that's what you get.
I think one of those guys over there has the camcorder rolling, and AI and KG, all them guys, Tim Duncan, they just jumped out of their seats. And when you see that, when you see some of the greats in our league, you know, just in awe of what another guy just did, then you know you're in trouble.
And I had the camera, and I was like, I thought I saw it, and I did see it. That right there is probably the #1 dunk ever.
Shaq jumped up, and his eyes looked like 2 Kenny to 50 cents. He was like, you know, KG is always hype. Every time you see him, I think it was just more to see it in person.
Well, Jerry Stackhouse following a very tough act.
It was tough for Jerry. I know he wished he would have went behind somebody else. And the 360 was weak anyway.
I felt bad for Jerry. I felt real bad for Jerry. But the follow Vince, and as soon as he reversed it and he landed, and you could hear the crickets.
And Vince adding to the repertoire. Vince Carter finishes with a 49, and the reason is Kenny Smith, the only judge not to award a 10. What's going on there?
Because I told you he set the precedent with the first one. That would have been a 10 any other time.
I'm still wondering about Kenny Smith's logic. I just don't understand what he did.
You know, he says, oh, you set the bar too high. Well, even if the bar was set high, you're supposed to get a 10. It's okay to give another 10. It's okay.
And Vince was extremely mad at me afterwards. He came up to me and said, Kenny, I wanted to be the first guy to get all 10s in every round, and you blew it for me.
They said we had to use a teammate for a dunk, but I didn't tell him until we were on the court. I said, Tracy, get out. So I go up to him and said, look, just bounce the ball about this high. He's like, what? I was like, just bounce it. So the first time he bounced it, it was like way too high. I was like, no, that's not it. He's like, what the hell are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna try to go between my legs. He's like, what?
I did not coordinate "it's over," the phrase "it's over" as he was doing it. I was screaming it, and then I look at the tape, and he's doing it at the same time.
After Vince Carter's dunk, I mean, everybody was just rising to their feet. You just want to go tell somebody. You want to say, "Did you see that?" Allen Iverson gets up, he's running, he runs to the locker room, I guess to call one of his friends, and I was standing there, and like a lot of players, I didn't take the charge, I just stepped aside.
I don't remember where I ran to, and it was just a lot of disbelief. You know, I couldn't believe what I just saw.
Isaiah jumped over the table and gave him a high five. When does a judge in the dunk contest jump over the table and give a contestant a high five in the middle of a dunk contest?
The judges are coming over the table to congratulate Vince Carter. This is unheard of. All right, Vince Carter with his first on the final round.
Hype Vince Carter to put his arm in the rim, how his feet got off the floor, unbelievable.
What I wanted from that dunk is the arena to be silent, because it's something I've never seen before. I know I've never seen it before. So I just jump up there and I hold on for dear life, and then I landed. And as I landed, if you notice, I had my head down, just listening for the crowd. And it was silent, and it was perfect. You know, that's what I wanted. And then they showed it again. Then everybody's like, oh my goodness, great. And I was like, yes.
Here comes Carter and puts it down.
That was weak, because he didn't come from the free throw line. And I felt like he should have, that was his last dunk. He could have, did something a little bit more spectacular, but he just took the easy route out.
And from what I was told, it was over. They was like, oh, you got to do one more dunk. I was like, I don't have any more tricks, any more, nothing. And so I said, okay, I'll do it. And after a while, I was just like, just make the dunk and get it over with.
If you remember, after Dr. J's final dunk in '84, Magic Johnson was waiting for him under the basket. In 2000, after Vince's final dunk, Craig Sager was waiting for him. Had to be a major letdown for Vince.
His series of dunks, to me, are the best of all time. I don't think anybody had the showmanship that Vince had that weekend.
That's something that I always remember, something that I cherish for the rest of my life. I was, honored just to be there and see something like that.
Yeah, he was smart to just end it at that. To go out on top like that, it was an unbelievable slam dunk contest. And, this is definitely one of my favorites. He won it.
And the first person to greet me and say congratulations was Dr. J. Somebody I respect, who I look up to, who, I recall, he started it all. He was the dunk champion, the original.
I love it when a guy just says, you know what? For these 18,000 people, I'm gonna put them in the palm of my hand, and I'm not gonna let them go until I'm done with my performance. And Vince Carter did it that night.